Welcome to the Whiskey Burn. This is my Whiskey Den. I'm Jay, and this is episode 3, Sip or Save. Basically, we talk about limited edition bottles, rare bottles, and sort of those family heirlooms. But should we sip them or should we save them? Welcome to episode 3, Sip or Save. It's fairly simple really, isn't it? Do we sip it or do we save it? Talking about limited edition runs, rare bottles, or something that could mean something to you. So, what I've got are 3 bottles here. I've got a Glenmorangie, 15-year-old, I'll talk about that in a bit more detail, a Kilchoman, limited number run, and a Petit Veitch, which I'll talk about in a bit. Now, I've seen on Facebook there are lots of websites as well where people talk about these types of whiskies and they should be drunk. They are made to be drunk. Now in this day and age I believe there's a lot of these whiskies that are being made in numbered runs specifically to make money. So for example, this Kilchoman we've got here is the cognac cask matured. It says here, bottles in the batch, 15,100. Okay? So there's only 15,099 of these knocking about. And I know one of them got open because I tried it, and that's pretty much why I bought it. So you're going to say, well, you've already sipped it, so you know what it's like. People on the fence are saying, well, you've sipped it, you don't need to open it. It was a very, very nice whiskey. There's other people who say, well, if you keep this, be worth a bit in a while. Thing with this one is though, I'm on the fence with this. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was a very nice whiskey, so I bought it. It wasn't a cheap bottle. It's about 75, maybe 80 quid. You know, we're not talking. I saw one the other day for 43,000. It was a 55-year-old, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a 55-year-old bottle of whiskey in a really nice sort of presentation case. 43 grand, bit pricey for me. 75 or 80 pounds for this Kilchoman, 15,100 in the run. Now, I kind of think that Kilchoman do that to make more money. You can put more money on this bottle because they say, well, there's only 15,100 of them, and after that, there's no more. You know, it's a lovely bottle. It's 50%. So it's quite high. There you go. So, arguments for sipping and saving. Arguments are sipping it. Basically, it's a whiskey, it's been made to drink. So therefore you should sip it. But let's move on to this Glenmorangie. It's a 15-year-old, beautiful, beautiful whiskey. Not opened, like the Kilchoman there. And the reason I've not opened this, it is a rare bottle. As you can see, it says rare on it. It says it on the box as well, I've got as well. This was given to me by my mum. It was my late father's bottle. And she said, well, you like whiskey, you have it. Didn't know anything about it at the time, quite a while ago. And it's sort of sentimental. So that's the reason why I've not opened this. And people say to me, are you going to open it? Why don't you open it? And when are you going to open it? Well, who knows? You know? I genuinely don't know. It's 43%, which you don't really get to see these days. Normally they're at 40, mainly because of tax. But there's another reason why I probably will sip it. You know, big birthdays, I might go, you know what? I'm going to open one of these and try it. Because people probably sitting there now go, you should open them anyway. But then if I drank all that, 2 weeks after it, the memories are gone. Do you see what I mean? Bit of a tough one, that. And then over here, I've got a Petit Veitch that I got as a birthday present. This is a limited bottle, number 2,000 out of 4,680. The distillery doesn't exist anymore. So people are saying, well, that's an investment then. Should I keep this? Should I hold on to this? I have a bottle of Kilchoman up there. That is the inaugural bottle. And I know that's gone up in money. And I haven't opened it. Will I sell it? I don't know. It was my first bottle. But it's one of those where you kind of go, what should I do with it? Should I keep it? Should I sell it? Or should I drink it? It's the bottle that I probably will open at some point for something special, mark a special occasion. And that's probably what I'll end up doing with quite a few of these. I just haven't got to them yet, so maybe there's my answer. But then here's another argument. You've got a bottle here that is, there's only 4,680 of this bottle. I know there was 15,000 of that, but this is an old one. This distillery doesn't exist anymore. So you kind of go in, right, so what about this? I mean, this is 52.1%. I don't think you get those anymore like that. So you kind of go, what do you do? This was distilled in 1989. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. What do you do with this? Comment below if you think this is a bottle that you should open, or at least think about opening. So you might think, oh, well, that's quite easy, sip or save. You know, you might think, well, this is nostalgic. It's got sentimental value, therefore I shouldn't open it. This one is probably a bit of a money maker. They're doing it. The distillery's doing it. I am a fan of Kilchoman. I've got quite a few of their bottles, and I have some open. But I do think that this could be one of those money-making bottles. Whereas this one, without really realising it, it probably is an investment because the distillery doesn't exist. It's one of such a small number of bottles left that if I did keep it in 10 years' time, I probably would have had to sell that and make a fair-ish bit of money on it. So they're the sort of arguments I've got here, really, in the three that I've managed to pick. I've got a few others that I'll probably bring out now and again. But the price of whiskey's going up. The price of whiskey. And that is next week's Whiskey Burn. Price of whiskey. Is it too expensive? But we'll talk about that next week. What I want to talk about is this Kilchoman here. And I can't go without tasting some. So you'll see here, I have the same bottle. I was in my whiskey den. I'd had one too many whiskies. And I picked the bottle up and I went, I'm going to open it. I'm going to sip it. I'm actually going to do it. So I did. Woke up the next day, panicked and went, oh shit, what have I done? Went and bought another one because I just panicked. I don't know why. And it's a really nice whiskey. So this Kilchoman, the cognac cask matured, it's 50%. And that's how much I've got left. Stunning bottle. You know, I do like Kilchoman. And this is a beautiful. You can smell the smoke, the peat. Oh. Kilchoman is a very, very, very good whiskey in my opinion. I can smell the smoke. I can smell sweetness. It's absolutely beautiful. The nose, it says, I'll read it to you. So, nose, herbaceous, fresh fruit, subtle sweetness and peat smoke. Do you know what? I didn't read this before I just did that. And that's exactly what I get. Palate, toasted oak, sweet fresh fruit, cinnamon and nutmeg. Finish, crystallized ginger and citrus oil and lingering light smoke. So, without further ado, oh, look at that. That's a beaut. Okay, so now I know there's 15,098 left because I know I've opened one. Oh, such a beautiful, beautiful smelling whiskey. You know, when you swallow it, I get this rush up through my nose of how powerful it is. And people say, oh, the smoky ones, and 50%, at 50% alcohol. I mean, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's absolutely gorgeous colour. It's a light gold colour. It really is an absolute beaut. It says toasted oak, sweet fresh fruit, cinnamon and nutmeg. I'd probably say I'm getting the oak. Maybe. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you get a chance to have a Kilchoman go for it. You might need a bit of ice because the finish, there is quite a bit of finish on that. That. And there's the nutmeg. It's got quite a long finish. Don't matter. I am going to put a little bit of ice in there. Just a little. If you watch the first 2 episodes, you know how I like to drink it. But you can tell I've tasted it in its purest form. Plonk that back on there. You can tell I like it. About half bottle through. Jingle, jingle. Sweetness is really, really coming through now on the nose. Wow. If you're wondering why I put ice in, watch episode 1, to ice or not to ice. And it talks about, should we put ice in our whiskey? I'm a big fan of it because it changes the palate, it changes the smell, it changes the finish. That's episode 1. But this is a beautiful whiskey. Oh, now I'm getting all the other flavours. Nutmeg. I can sense the ginger now. I couldn't before. That's the difference with ice and stuff. So there you have it. Sip or save. Save, save, save for me. But you can see that I did sip it, although I might have been under the influence, but I still sipped it. And I'm glad I did. So this may be getting open sometime down the future. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for episode 3. Thanks for joining us. Comment below if you want to comment. Like it, subscribe, all that usual YouTube jazz. But for this week, thanks for watching and I'll catch you soon. Enjoy your whiskey. Shlante.